Look, I'm going to be real with you. All you need is one idea and you need to follow through on that idea. Every single thing I've ever achieved in my life, I've always written it down. I've always been emotionally connected to those goals. Meaning, a lot of the times, why you've not manifested the house, why you've not manifested luxury, whatever you want, is because you want it, but you just kind of want it. Like you love the idea of traveling first class. You love the idea of being financially free, but you're not willing to work for a long enough time frame where you don't get results, where you're not earning any money to then earn lots of money after that. You want it now. It goes back to the same thing of this out-of-pocket mindset. You want no downside. You want no risk. There's a reason why people win in life is because they've risked more than you. And risk doesn't always mean they've risked loads of money and you didn't. Sometimes it's just their time. And if time is all you've got and you don't have money, well, guess what? The biggest risk is that you don't use that time wisely. I actually would argue a lot of times people are taking even bigger risks. Like, I'm looking at my phone now. I could scroll, I'm not going to do this now, but I could scroll back to so many photos in 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, and see the growth. There was a period, especially in my trading career, for the first 4.5 years-ish, almost no money was made. As in, I had winning trades. I was profitable for a bit, but then I'd lose it and I'd give it all back. And if you look at that whole window, you're kind of back to square one. So you've done like 4 years, you've made money, lost money, made money, but you're back again at the same position. And that was quite fortunate because some people don't even get there. They're like hugely minus. So they could have 4 years without getting results, but 20 grand in debt. You know, it could be different. But I can tell you this, during that time, right, I was very comfortable with the idea of, look, if I don't make money for the first year, who gives a shit? If I don't make money for the second year, keep putting in the work, no results, who cares? What else am I going to do? I already burnt the bridge of a 9-to-5 job. So what else is there? There is this relentless, never-ending work ethic until it happens. It was such a stubbornness and ego, if you like, where I just thought, I now know what I want to do. As in, like, imagine you've had some profitable trades where you've made like $1,000 in a trade, which I'd already done at that point, and I'd lost money as well. But I still experienced enough of a taster, if you like, where I knew that if I had a bigger account, that 1,000 would be 2,000, or that 2,000 would be 4,000, 5,000, and so on. And when you go through that experience, you recognize, well, why would I stop now when I've had a little slither of it? Well, in my head, what I used to think is I didn't come this far to come this far. And that used to get me through a lot. I was like, I didn't come this far just to come this far. And I would visualize myself in 5 years' time, having made a decision now to quit, and then be embarrassed with myself and how that would feel, and the pain of what that regret would be like, that if I threw in the towel, and that would keep me going. And then I would use things like, well, I promised my mum and dad I'd build them a house. That would then keep me going. The reason why a lot of people give up is they don't have enough of those reasons to keep them going. So then, if you actually think about it, every single person you've ever met that's especially achieved success in trading, they've also gone through a period where they felt like this isn't going to work. They've also feel like they're banging their head against a brick wall, and no matter what they do, even if their analysis is good, they just don't seem to make any money, or they happen to just miss all the trades that go and they're in all of the losses. Every single great trader has gone through that and still been delusionally optimistic to still keep moving forward. So what you got to think about, like if you want a house like this, look, I'm sat here in a £23 million villa, and this feels normal. And once upon a time, it didn't feel normal. Once upon a time, I had £10 in my bank account. And I don't mean that to play like I was homeless and now I'm a successful trader, because there's a lot of cliche bullshit out there, but I genuinely was from a council estate. And if any of you that were born in a council estate or didn't come from much, then yeah, you probably was at a point where you had like £10.50 in your bank account. So yeah, that was my life. I experienced that. So I know what it feels like to not have much and think about wanting a lot. And I also know how to get there, because I've done it. I've made my way out of the jungle. And a lot of the times you're not where you want to be because you're either not emotionally connected to your goals and you don't realize it, or you're not around enough people that are winning at the level that you want to get to. So therefore you never really pick up on the key traits, the subtle differences, the tiny little habits. Like you're just sitting there with your book thinking, I'm going to read this book and it's going to give me all the answers. It's not. It's just going to give you a bit of knowledge, but it's chaotic. You need something that's specialized, that's in your niche. You need something that, you need to be around people that are winning. It's like, it's very black and white. Get around people that are winning at the thing that you want to win at. Drop your ego. Stop trying to be this individual that thinks you're going to make it on your own, because you won't. And it's in that arrogance is what stops you getting to where you want to be. Well, let me ask you this. If I said to you, look, you're going to have 50 million tomorrow. I'm going to give you 50 mil in your bank account. But the caveat is you only live for 2 weeks. Do you value the 50 mil? No, you don't. So it's time that you value more. Okay, so we've already established that it's not all about money, because if you don't have enough time to do anything with it, then it's not as valuable, is it? So it's the duration, the time that you've got. So now ask yourself, if time is the most valuable asset that you have got, why would you waste more of it trying to figure this out? Why would you be the individual that goes, do you know what, I'm just going to figure this out all on my own, and I'm also comfortable with the idea of it might take me an extra 5 years, and you might just not figure it out? Why would you take that risk? Who's now the risk taker? You're the riskier one, because what you're valuing is an extra £100 a month, £200, £1,000 a year, whatever it is, to get educated correctly. You're valuing that, and you would willing to keep that and part with your time instead. So you're telling yourself that you don't value time. You think you do, but you actually don't, because your actions are not aligned with that. You're still the same guy getting, free education from YouTube tutorials, or like you're the equivalent of the person starting the business, and you're not serious about business because you're just using free softwares. You almost want no downside. Point being is that a lot of people will be so close to getting to where they want to be, but they'll never ascend to what they're capable of, because they're just not willing to take risk. They're not willing to put skin in the game. And guess what? The universe will not reward people that are not willing to put skin in the game, because there are other people in the same situation as you, come from the same background. They don't have money either, but guess what? They get another job. They work extra hours. They work overtime just to fund their trading career. And most people that are in a phenomenal position to actually learn to trade, and they'll still go, no, I don't have enough time, and I spend 4 hours a night on Netflix. It's like, you're not serious. And until you get serious about your life and you're willing to cut things out that don't serve you for the now, and then in the future you'll live a great life, well, you'll never get there. You have to be crystal clear on also who you want to become. I'm going to be really honest with you. If you don't know who you want to become, you're going to get lost in the process. So yeah, you might acquire, let's say you want to do drop shipping, or you want to start an, I don't know, just an e-com business, whatever it is. You might be entrepreneurial and you might want to do these things. You might want to work from home, make money online. You genuinely may want that life. Are you willing to make the sacrifices to get it? And unfortunately, a lot of people are not. What you don't realize that's happening in that moment is you're sacrificing so much more, because you're here once, you're not coming back. So then are you comfortable getting to 60 years old and looking back and going, oh, when I was 21, I was terrified of the idea of investing into myself, and I just held on to an extra 3 grand in my bank because I thought that was a good thing to do. So you're basically guaranteeing failure in advance. Why would you do that? It's illogical. So a lot of the times people go, oh, I can't afford to trade because I think it's risky. The biggest risk you're taking is doing nothing. At least do something. But once upon a time, every single one of you will have a dream that has now just fizzled out for one reason or another, whether you have doubt, lack of belief, or you've got family in your ear telling you, oh, that's never going to work, you can't do that, that's risky, that's a bit of a gamble. It's other people's voices. At the end of the day, they're not going to pay your mortgage. Other people are not going to actualize the things you want in your life. Therefore, you've got to make decisions yourself. You have to be the decision maker. I was always the decision maker. I knew that I was going to retire my parents, and I knew I would not stop until I achieve it. And I also knew that in order to be happy with everything and live in nice luxury, you have to be happy with nothing. You have to also enjoy the process. I loved every part of it. I loved the journey. I loved the figuring it out. I loved the watch list creation. I loved the advanced self-review. I loved the getting so close to success and taking a few steps back. I learned to enjoy all of it. Do you know why? Because I was so grateful that I actually know what I want to do. So then I knew it was only a matter of a time until I achieve it. You've got to find that. And if you have found it and you're someone who's running a business right now, or you're learning to trade, you're probably getting paid to learn how to trade. You're probably working a job that's funding your trading career anyway. So what are you complaining about? You just need to buy your time. If you're showing up with genuine intention every single day, it's only a matter of time until you collect your goals. You've just got to be resilient and persistent enough to not let the self-doubt or the doubt of others interfere with your state of mind. How you start the day will be directly correlated to whether you win the day. And think about it, success is an amalgamation of just really great days, 365. So you've got to control that first phase in the morning. You've got to get yourself in the right state, even when you don't feel like it. There was lots of times that I didn't feel like it. There was lots of times that I didn't feel like giving up, but I just thought, why this? Why this extra chaos? Why this extra stress? I had so much pressure. We had nothing, but I just knew that if I can just get a grasp and grapple with those inner negative thoughts and stress that you get as soon as you wake up in the morning, then I have a fighting chance to win the day. You do that. Plan your day the night before. Grab a journal, start writing things down, put pen to paper. When you emotionally connect that pen to paper, you're so much more connected to your goals. Stop writing things down on a computer all the time. Get a good old-fashioned pen, sit there in silence without anyone else, solitude, and just get clear on who you want to become. And just put steps in place to do it and actually stick to your word. And once you do it over a period of time, guess what? You build trust with yourself. And you'll have those moments you go, do you know what? I can actually do this. Even though I've not come from the best possible start, I've also got a thick skin. Like, find positives in whatever you can. I'm telling you, if you be that individual, wake up in a year from now, you'll be in a completely different position. I was there. I know what it feels like. You've got this in the bag. You just need to outwork that old version of you.